Hey there, it's Dave at No Recipe Required, and today I'm excited because I'm cooking a T-bone from Certified Steak and Seafood, one of my absolute favorite steak providers out there. What I'm going to do is a very simple way to show you how to cook the T-bone. We're going to do it in the pan, right on the stove top, just a little bit of seasoning, very plain and simple, but it's really one of the best ways to appreciate this awesome cut that is part Filet Mignon and part New York strip. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I've thawed out our certified steak T-bone during the day in the fridge. Nice, easy, gentle thaw if you do it that way. And then I'm just going to take it out of the package, give it a little pat dry about 45 minutes before I want to cook it. And you can see here, you know, the T-bone right there. Here's the bone coming down. This is the piece of filet, super tender, super delicious. Here's the New York strip, also absolutely wonderful. You can see all the great marbling there. This steak's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm just going to let it come up to room temperature for about half an hour before we cook it. 5 minutes before you want to cook it, you want to season with salt and pepper, both sides. Nice liberal seasoning for a steak this thick, because you're trying to make sure you season the whole way through. Salt and pepper at a minimum, but if you want to do, you know, any kind of spice rubs or anything like that, by all means, now's the time to add it. Okay, so our certified steak is nicely seasoned. I brought a pan up to a smoking hot temperature. You do the same thing with the grill. Just make sure it's really, really hot. You want to hear that intense sizzle as you lay the steak down, and that's going to sear the the side of the steak and form a really brilliant, tasty crust. The key here, you don't want to move the steak around. You don't want to shake the pan. You don't want to flip it. You don't want to mess with it for at least say 3 minutes for a steak this size. At that point, we'll come back. We'll give it a check and probably give the steak a flip as well. Okay, so it may be noisy, may be smoky, but it's certainly going to be delicious if you just use that hot pan. You let it sear. You don't flip or touch it. After about 3 minutes, I am going to turn it over, and you see we've got that nice caramelized crust. Now, I also preheated my oven to 400 degrees, and I'm going to use the heat of the oven to cook this to a medium rare. So I flipped it over. We're going to sear the other side, and I'm going to put this into the oven for about 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so our T-bone wasn't in the oven for very long, just 3 or 4 minutes for a medium rare. As an option, you know, most T-bones will have a little bit of fat layer along that New York strip side. And if you want, you can hold the strip up and just get that in contact with the pan a little bit. And that'll help caramelize that fat and make it nice and tasty. The other thing we can do to finish off the steak, I've got the heat on medium now, and I'm going to add a knob of butter there, along with a few sprigs of rosemary and a clove and a half of garlic. And what we're going to do is make a rosemary garlic butter that will absolutely just give the steak an absolutely wonderful flavor. Once that butter melts, we've got all this kind of wonderful rosemary garlic flavor down here, and you just kind of baste the steak for just a couple minutes while it finishes cooking. If you want to bring it up to like a medium or a medium well, you just leave it in the oven for a few minutes longer, and then you come back and you do this step. Once I'm done here, like I said, 45 minutes to 2 minutes, I'm going to pull this off to a cutting board and let it rest. So after resting our T-bone for a few minutes, you can go ahead, serve it up, and you can cut it. And of course, if we've cooked this perfect, high quality steak right, what we're going to end up with is a nice medium rare cut. Take a little bit of the strip part of the T-bone here. Show you guys. Yes, absolutely perfect. I love these certified steaks, and I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.